want a ticket straight to them pearly gates.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about the lore of Tekken, and specifically I want to talk about who is Reina's mom and where is she, what role does she play. We know that Reina is connected to Heihachi, but that's all we really know. And I think Harada has said some things very recently, but also I was discussing things with the chat, and I think we have a good understanding of what is happening, what will happening, and what could happen. So in order to make sure everyone's on point, I need to go back to Kazuya and Heihachi and their origin, because it's very important to understand how the devil gene was retconned and what it does now. So Jin and Kazuya, the devil gene that they have comes from Kazumi, and the devil gene that she possesses come from her clan, the Hachijo clan. Now, the Hachijo clan got it from Azazel. We don't know how they received it. We just know that they received it. We don't know if they took it, if they was granted permission of it, but they were given it. But also, the interesting thing about Kazumi is that when she first showed up into Tekken, what the story tell us is that she was sent to kill Heihachi, because you have to keep in mind, right? Just because they have the devil gene doesn't make them evil. I think Jin Kazama proves that. But the Hachijos was this secret organization of devil gene carriers who, from what we could tell, never did anything crazy or malicious like Heihachi or Kazuya. When you talk about the Mishimas are seen as this military power, but that's not how it always was. Tekken 8 shows us a glimpse of this, where they started off as a traditional Japanese clan, had some samurais amongst them, and they also fought demons and banished demons of that sort. Now, Jinpapi was the one who started this transition from normal clan to military powerhouse. Heihachi is the one who turned it all evil. He's the one who dethroned Jinpapi, and he is the one who put them on his path of like world domination. And that's when the Hachijos seen the future that was basically going to unfold, and they tried to step in and send a assassin to kill Heihachi. That assassin was Kazumi. Now, what the Hachijos didn't expect or didn't take into consideration is that Heihachi is a smooth talking, silver tongued demon. Kazumi was sent to kill him, but in a matter of moments, she fell in love with him and she found a new meaning in life, and they basically had a family. They trained together, they grew up together. Kazuya was eventually born. Now, here's one of the big questions, and I won't harp on this too much, but why did Kazumi first show up to kill Heihachi, decide not to, but then decide to put her devil gene powers into another human being? It seems like that has to be breaking some kind of protocol of the Hachijos. I'm assuming they want to just allow anyone to do anything with the devil gene because it's a very powerful thing. And as a result of Kazumi, for whatever reason, deciding to have a baby with someone that the clan deemed evil, they created Heihachi. Now, the story tells us a little bit later that she eventually got back on her mission that was to kill Heihachi, and she started to be overtaken by the devil gene, so this amplified that whole feeling as well, and she basically burst into the dojo and challenged Heihachi to a fight to the death. Now, at the start of that fight, Heihachi didn't really want to fight. He was confused by the whole thing. But once she transforms into a demon, this is when Heihachi basically locks in. He says, okay, now I have to kill you. He doesn't want to still, but he says, I have to. Now, in Tekken 7, we didn't understand why that was, but Tekken 8 filled in the pieces, and it made it make sense. And what I mean by that is, once again, when you talk about the Mishima's long history of banishing demons and fighting against demons, Heihachi seeing Kazumi turn into a demon, he now knows exactly what he's dealing with, and he knows exactly what he has to do. So he kills her, but then he also now is thinking about the son which they have, which is Kazuya, and he's wondering whether or not that child has the devil gene. Now, he does the stupid thing, which is to test and see if the child have the devil gene, and he does that by first taunting him with the death of his mother, see if that awakes the devil. No, okay, now let's throw you down a mountain and see if that awakes the devil. He really did go back to the medieval days where they would tie people in bags of rope and throw them in the ocean and see if they are witches. If you're a witch, you will get out of the bag, you will get out of the water, and you survive. If you're not a witch, oops, you drowned. Hey, actually really went that route, and it did not pay off, because Kazuya not only survived because he is a devil, but then also also he held a incredible grudge against him that's been haunting him since forever. But also after that, what Heihachi then does is he goes and hunts down the entire clan that is the Hachijo. This is where Reina and the mother come into play. Tekken 8 tells us that Heihachi wiped out the entire clan. Now, how he was able to do that? Because we saw that Jin took a bullet to the back of the head in Tekken 3 and survived. We saw that Kazuya took a laser satellite from space that blew up a skyscraper and survived. So, how did Heihachi manage to wipe out an entire clan of what we assume is Devil Jin carriers? No one knows. But he did that, except for one, and the quote is, baby girl. One baby girl lived. Now, the entire player base saw the word baby girl and assumed it was Reina, but the timeline does not match up. When Heihachi attacked the Hachijo clan, Kazuya was 5. Kazuya in Tekken 8 is 50. So that baby girl that was discovered when Kazuya was 5 in Tekken 8 should be 45 to 47, because she's basically, the baby girl is basically 3 years or younger. That's kind of the baby status, right? So that baby in Tekken 8 should be 47-ish, and Reina is not that. We don't have a confirmation of her age specifically, but we do know because the game tells us that she graduated. Now, there is a debate whether it's graduating from high school or college, but either way, this basically puts her age at about 20 to 17, because I think we all would agree Reina being 47 and then being in college and graduating from college, that's not what the story's going to do, right? So Reina, since she just graduated, is around the age of Jin. So that means that she could no way be this baby, because the baby would be the age of Kazuya. Those two characters are about 30 years apart. So if you follow that idea, that would mean that this devil baby is someone else. Now, if we take into consideration what Harada said on Twitter literally like a week ago about the character Reina Heihachi, and he was also talking about the mother in a very mysterious way. He wasn't too direct, but the pieces are starting to fall together. He was talking about how Heihachi had one single ally. That ally was, or they said few allies, but the point is that he had that one ally, which was a Devil Gene carrier, which we know that baby was a Devil Gene carrier. And then also he's talking about that ally, that Devil Gene carrier, while also talking about the idea of Reina's mother. So here's the idea. The idea is that Heihachi saved that baby girl and put her into some type of adoption system where he can monitor the baby. We know that that's something that he does because, you know, looking at what Lars went through and what Harada said about Lars, Lars went through the same thing where Harada was testing to see if he had the devil gene because that was something he feared. He didn't know exactly how the devil gene was passed along. He didn't know if he received it from Kazumi like an STD. So he was testing to see if he had it, and all of those children, basically he disowned them after realizing that he doesn't have the devil gene, and he put them into some type of adoption system. Some was more monitored than others because obviously he didn't know about Lars' existence in Tekken 6. But the point is, Heihachi has some type of adoption system that he uses quite frequently. He also adopted Lei specifically because he was a very talented and trained combatant that he can use to push Kazuya further, right? So he probably put that baby girl into a type of adoption system, monitored her growth, but then also when she became an adult, formed some kind of relationship, some type of alliance with her. But then at some point, it seems that he had a relationship with her, and then Reina was born. Now, here's the tricky part. Harada tells us that Reina was not raised by Heihachi or the mother. So if Heihachi did have a baby with this devil gene, with this other devil gene carrier, then how was Reina separated from her? Did Heihachi basically turn on the devil gene carrier and kill them, and then now Reina is like his own? Or is there, or is this something that they both wanted to do? Is this something that they both decided? Because we know that Even though Reina wasn't raised by Heihachi, she is obsessed with him. And the Devil Jin carrier could have been the same way. So we really don't know exactly where the mother is now. She could be dead. She could still be alive. She could be evil. She could be good. We don't know. But the point is that she probably is the mother of Reina, and Reina being separated from her. How did that come about? You know what I think? Here's an idea. I just had this idea. This is a brand new idea. When Harada says that Reina was not raised by Heihachi or the mother, what if the Tekken monks who hate the Mishimas, who hates Heihachi, what if they learned that there is a new baby being born and they took Reina from them? So now you still have Heihachi and the Devil Jin carrying mother out there doing whatever, but the Tekken monks takes Reina away from them, train her in a way of martial arts, because we know she uses the Mishima style and she did not learn it from Kazuya, Jin, or any of the people who has it. She learned it some other way. She said in the story that she learned it from YouTube. Players are debating whether or not she was lying or not. But if the Tekken monks did steal her, that would make a couple of things make sense. One, that would make sense why Heihachi and the mom didn't raise her. Two, that would make sense why she loves Heihachi, because she feels like she was stolen from Heihachi. Two, it would make sense why Heihachi hates the Mishimas and immediately kills them. It wouldn't make sense as to why they resurrected someone whose babies they stolen, right? Even if they did think he was good, that still is not a good idea. So there is some questions that way. And really, when you try to understand the part of the story where Reina is not raised by the mother, that's when really everything starts to, no matter which direction you go, it's going to fall apart. Whether or not Heihachi took Reina from the mother and put the baby into adoption, whether or not someone else took the baby and did that, it just doesn't make sense, that part of it. And we're really going to need the next story piece to understand what happened there in Reina's childhood, because she knows who Heihachi is. She likes Heihachi. She has some type of plan that she's working with, and it seems like it's a similar plan to what Heihachi is doing. So the fact that you don't have the mother there raising her, and the mother is also a Devil Jin carrier who was allied with Heihachi, a lot of question marks there. A prediction that I have is Reina and Heihachi will team up. Reina currently should be the most powerful character in all of Tekken. Not only she is a Mishima, she is also a Devil Jin carrier, and she's the only person that we know of who has the Devil Jin. Jin and Kazuya should not still have it. Even though it's alluded that they still have it, she's the only one who has it and can unlock it and can turn into it. Her being paired up with Heihachi, and potentially if the mother is still around, that's two Devil Jin carriers and Heihachi, that's a very powerful alliance. And I wonder if what Tekken is trying to do is set up a type of a team battle type of thing, where you have Heihachi and his basically new family of the Devil Jin mother and Reina versus Kazuya and Jin and even Jun Kazama. I don't know if the players want to see like a 3v3 type of battle like that. I think it would be interesting. It would be a different direction. And it also would make the return of all of these characters and everything that they're doing make sense. And when I say like a type of alliance, I'm not really talking about like Jin and Kazuya being best friends. They can go the route of like a Dragon Ball Z, where at first Vegeta showed up to kill Kakarot, but once Frieza showed up, they had bigger fish to fry, and Vegeta begrudgingly assisted Goku. The final thing that Heihachi said in the story DLC is that once they unlock their Devil Genes, my plans will fall into place. That we first assumed was Jin and Kazuya reawakening their Devil Genes, but it also can be now framed in the perspective of Reina unlocking her Devil Gene, which is what we saw, and then also maybe even her mother unlocking her Devil Gene, because we do know the Devil Gene could be dormant. Jin didn't unlock it until he was like 19 or something, right? So the mother could be the very same thing, where she has it but it's not unlocked yet. Reina didn't unlock her Devil Gene until after she graduated, right?